Good evening. It's 6 p.m., so I'm going to get started here. Having some technical issues here, bear with me. So in case you've been living under a rock, you know that cybersecurity and ransomware, hacking, phishing, etc. has been a big issue more than ever recently with some very large ransomware attacks. The screen that I'm showing you right now is a map of cyber attacks that are taking place in real time. So we can see that cyber attacks are a serious threat and issue. So tonight we're going to have a little savvy cybersecurity talk. Two seconds. That's how often someone becomes a victim of identity theft. Last year, there were over 14 million victims of identity theft and fraud. Are you one of the 14 million? Has your personal information been exposed in a data breach or a hack? The statistics say most likely. The past few years have given us record-breaking breaches. You see only a few of the big ones listed here. The Marriott hotel chain exposed data on 500 million guests in a recent breach. The credit reporting agency Equifax suffered a massive breach that affected 143 million Americans. Yahoo took first place for the biggest breach in history with news of a hack that affected every single Yahoo account. That's about 3 billion users. And these are only some of the breaches that occurred in the last few years. Given those statistics, it's likely that your personal information has landed in the hands of a hacker. In addition, new threats are exposed every day, even as we sit here now, as that map indicated. A vast array of cyber attacks are pounding at the walls of security networks built to protect you and your digital persona on the internet. And what I'm going to say next sounds a little alarmist and a bit dramatic, but it's completely true. A world of dark forces and criminal networks conspire day and night to steal your username and password, obtain your social security number, open credit cards in your name, drain your bank accounts, and seize your computer to hold it for ransom. The authors of the book Cybersecurity and Cyber War contend that a cyber world war is underway and we're all involved. Our biggest problem, they say, is that we face a cybersecurity knowledge gap. You can see here in this matrix, many of us are down here in the lower left quadrant, and we need to be in the upper right. Cybersecurity is a huge issue for all of us, and that's why I'm here today. Don't despair. We've got some ideas on how you can navigate this growing threat. Most people don't realize how vulnerable they are or what they can do to maximize their security. By the end of my presentation today, I guarantee you'll leave better prepared to protect yourself, your family, and your business from the quietly raging cyber wars targeting us all. Today, I'm here to help you create a personal cybersecurity system that will help keep you and your family safe. I am not a computer expert or a cybersecurity expert, so these are going to be some very elementary, easy to implement things that I think can save people a lot of heartache and brain damage. There's a short quiz in the handout that everybody should have received via email. If you did not receive one, please let us know and we will get it to you. But when you have a moment, I would encourage you to take the cybersecurity scorecard test and see how you do. That'll give you an idea of your vulnerabilities, and we'll go over some rules tonight that should help. Thank you for joining me tonight for this presentation. 30 minutes to savvy cybersecurity, 5 threats every person and business faces and how to fight them. Most of you know me, but we may have a couple of newcomers on the call tonight. I'm Bob Scott, president of Scott Strategic Investments. I've been in Pagosa Springs working with investors since 1998. Prior to that, I was an analyst on Wall Street and spent some time in private equity. I'm a certified financial planner, and we are a comprehensive wealth management firm. We have a passion here at Scott Strategic Investments for educating our clients and keeping them up to speed on information we think might make their financial lives easier. Tonight, I'm going to give you a shortened version of my regular presentation. We'll cover the most important threats and actions that you can take, but it doesn't cover everything. You should have all received, as I mentioned, an email link with a 2-sided reference card. That card provides you with other actions you can take that we won't have time to cover today. With that, let's get started. And as I mentioned, if you, for some reason, did not get a link to that reference card, please give Julie, my assistant, a call and we will get one out to you. How secure are you? The cybersecurity guide handout, I would really encourage you to take this cybersecurity quiz. It's very easy. You're going to answer yes or no to each one of these questions. You get 5 points for each yes. You're going to determine your rating. Then the next section will tell you whether you're in good shape, okay shape, or if you're in danger. Don't be discouraged if your score is low. Most people's scores the first time they do this is pretty low. Knowing where you stand is the first step in creating your cybersecurity plan. We won't, like I said, we won't be able to go through all of these topics today, but feel free to ask questions at the end of the presentation about anything we may not have covered. With that, let's get started. The new cybersecurity rules. I believe you can develop 3 cybersecurity mindsets to strengthen and maintain your cybersecurity so that staying safe is simple. The 3 mindsets cover various parts of your life and overlap to form a sweet spot of actions that will boost your cybersecurity score. Each mindset alone provides greater security, but the combination of the 3 really makes you secure. The mindsets are secrecy, omniscience, and mindfulness. Each mindset contains a group of actions for people to take called the new cybersecurity rules. I'm going to explain all 3 mindsets and some of the associated rules. Let's take a look at the first mindset. This first item may sound a little reactionary at first, but in view of the cybersecurity conversation we're having tonight, we all need more secrecy in our lives, and that's why our first key idea is adopting a new level of secrecy can boost your security and cyber confidence. The secrecy mindset entails keeping your personal and private data private. With all the massive amounts of data breaches suffered by corporations and governments, we need to act as if our personal data already exists in the hands of cyber criminals, because it likely does. We all need to draw a tighter ring of security around our personal data, and that starts with your email. Our email address is the key to our digital lives. We share it with countless businesses, organizations, and people. If you've used the internet for any amount of time, you have entered your email address at a host of online accounts for shopping, traveling, exercising, gaming, dating, and more. We don't think twice about it. But having your email addresses in so many databases puts you at a significant risk. Hackers routinely breach the security networks of many organizations that hold your primary email address. That stolen personal data paired with poor email security leads to disaster. Robert Ciliano, CEO of IdentityTheftSecurity.com and a security writer, explains, quote, It has been said that if you own a person's email, you own the person. This means that once your email is hacked, pretty much your entire digital life is up for grabs. So even if you've done your due diligence to have all your passwords be different, if your email is hacked and it's associated with your other online accounts, the hacker could simply use a reset password and get access to all of your accounts. Now, you may not care if someone hacks into your Food Network or Yelp account, but you certainly don't want your online banking exposed in the same way. This is why you need to create a separate secret email for your financial accounts. This email address should be unidentifiable. Don't use your first name, last name, initials, or other identifying information. It should also be protected with a strong and unique password. A separate email address reduces your digital footprint, and if your primary non-financial email address is exposed in a hack, it will not be connected to your financial accounts. This is a key step in boosting your security. We also need to put a special layer of security on all our important accounts, such as email, online banking, social media, and more. That extra layer is a relatively new trend in online security called two-step verification, or sometimes two-factor authentication. It should be added to any account you have that supports that technology. With this approach, when you start to log into an account online, you're sent a short-lived one-time passcode. You must use that code to finish logging in. You can receive this code via text message or something called an authenticator app. The authenticator app is the most secure option as it is more difficult for hackers to compromise. Some popular authenticator apps are Google Authenticator and Microsoft Authenticator. This method stops your accounts from getting hacked because it requires two separate things: something you know, your password, and something you have, the temporary code. So even if a hacker has your password, he won't gain access. And you'll be alerted if someone is trying to break into your account. If you get a code and haven't tried to log in, you know something is up. At that point, you'll want to change your password. And you don't have to worry about entering a code every time you log into your account from your device. On many sites now, you can designate safe devices where you only need to enter the verification code every 30 days when logging on from that device. We need to know what is going on with our cybersecurity at all times. That's why the second key idea is completing certain actions can help you achieve financial cyber omniscience and thwart fraud. This is absolutely critical to everyone's cybersecurity. Let's see what I mean. Here's something most people don't quite understand about their credit files. By default, our credit files are open. That means anyone with enough information to impersonate you may be able to open a new line of credit in your name. It happens all the time and is a major source of identity theft. And when you consider how many private and public organizations have been hacked, institutions we've trusted with our social security numbers, employment history, and other details about our financial lives, you need to be worried about the state of your credit file at the big three agencies. We need to take back control of our credit through a credit freeze. A credit freeze locks your credit file with a PIN at each of the credit bureaus. No new credit can be issued in your name unless you lift the freeze with your special PIN. You'll have to contact each of the credit bureaus separately. As of September 21, 2018, credit freezes are free in every state thanks to a new federal law. Previously, the cost varied per state, and it could be up to $10 per action. A credit freeze puts you in control. It's way more secure than just credit monitoring or a fraud alert, both of which will alert you after credit has been issued in your name. With a credit freeze, You can actually prevent identity theft from happening instead of cleaning up after your identity theft nightmare. But that's not all. It's not just your credit that you need to be concerned about. Experts say that 500,000 children suffer from identity theft every year. Why? Their clean records are attractive to thieves looking to open new accounts without any issues, and the theft can go unnoticed for years as parents and guardians often don't think to check their children's records. But childhood identity theft can lead to a lifetime of fraud and ruined credit. The first step in protecting your children is ensuring they have no credit report by contacting all three of the credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Parents should send a letter including copies of their child's birth certificate, listing them as the parent, and their driver's license, and proof of address to all three of the credit reporting agencies, and ask for a manual search of their child's social security number. If no report is found, you're in luck. You should still, however, periodically check your child's status. If a report is found, it's usually a sign your child has been victimized. Ask the credit bureaus to immediately place a credit freeze on your child's record and investigate further. You can now request a credit freeze for your child in every state. Again, you'll have to contact all of the bureaus individually if you put a credit freeze on your account or your child's account. Our third cybersecurity key idea has to do with mindfulness. Achieving a sense of mindfulness when it comes to cybersecurity allows you to stay alert without becoming fatigued or stressed. What does that mean? We need to be in a state of relaxed alertness when dealing with cybersecurity. Fighter pilots have an acronym for this state called OODA. It stands for observation, orientation, decision, and action. Zen masters use the phrase mindfulness. Actually, when Google completed their own analysis of worldwide cybersecurity practices, they also recommended mindfulness as a key part of cybersecurity. Mindfulness relates to your day-to-day cybersecurity practices. One of the biggest threats today is a strain of malware called ransomware that kidnaps your computer and holds it for ransom. In this attack, hackers infect your device with malware that encrypts or locks everything on your computer. You can no longer access any of your files. In order to get your files back, you have to pay the hackers a Bitcoin ransom. Ransomware attacks are normally spread through a method called phishing. Phishing messages are emails that impersonate a legitimate company or person and are designed to steal your personal information or install malware on your machine through a malicious link. Hackers are sending out billions of these messages every day. Most get caught in your spam filter, but some may find their way to your inbox. There's a 10-second cybersecurity rule that will help you fend off the phishers. The acronym is email, and it stands for examine, message, inspect, and links. Let's take a look at the first half of that acronym. Just a quick aside, when I was doing some research on this, there was a story right out of the White House, actually the Obama White House, but the wife of John P. Holdren, the assistant to former President Obama, and the former director of the White House Office of Science and Technology, the wife of John Holdren, the assistant to former President Obama and the former director of the White House Office of Science and Technology, she received an email which she believed to be from her husband. It asked for the password to their Xfinity phone and internet account. Mrs. Holdren sent the password and went about her day. But she hadn't sent the password to her husband. Rather, she sent it to a political hacking group who with the password redirected all of the Holdren's phone calls to the Free Palestine Movement line. The Holdrens joined a long list of victims, including CIA Director John Brennan and Director of National Intelligence James Clapper. Had Holdren's wife known about this 10-second email rule I'm about to teach you, she might not have fallen for the scam. The first half of the acronym, examine message, starts with the subject line. Phishers try to get us to react quickly to an urgent situation. Often they will make the subject line something frightening, such as warning, account closed, or security alert. Some are more subtle, but still require you take action. For example, mail delivery failed, return message to sender, or incoming fax received. Subject lines like this should alert us that this may be a phishing attack. Next, we need to discover the true sender of the email. Phishers can spoof the from line to appear to be from a legitimate business or organization. You can determine the true sender by hovering your mouse over the display name. A small box will appear with the true email address. Other suspicious things to look for include greetings that refer to you as a customer or sir or madame instead of your name, poor grammar, a vague signature line with false contact information, etc. I'm sure we've all received some of these phishing attempts that are clearly cyber attacks. You should also be suspicious of unsolicited emails with attachments. Never click to open an unsolicited attachment. What presents itself as a resume, receipt, or payment could be a .exe file that plants a virus on your computer or seizes it for ransom. The second part of the 10-second email rule has to do with the links in the message. The second half of email requires you to inspect links with the message. Like you did with the sender, hover over your mouse over any link or hyperlink text. Be sure that the link is truly directing you to the correct website. If it looks fishy, delete it. You can always contact the organization directly to ask if they sent you the email. This is an action that needs to become part of your daily cybersecurity practices. Make it a habit so you can thwart off phishers without thinking about it. Most importantly, or part 3, take action. We've gone over a few things today, and now it's time to take action. Research shows we're more likely to do something if we write it down. So when you get your quick reference guide printed out and go through page 2, there is a checklist and an action plan. Even if you can get 3 action items done, I think that significantly increases your cybersecurity. Also, just want to inform you about some additional cybersecurity resources. A book that I used in putting this presentation together is called Hack Proof Your Life, the new cybersecurity rules, and it's available on Amazon. I also have 10 copies of the book while they last. So if you'd like a copy, give Julie a call or send us an email, and we're happy to send you a copy of the book while they last. I want to thank everybody for coming. As I said, I am not a cybersecurity or computer expert, but I think we've given you a few tools to make your financial lives a little more secure. With that, I want to see if there's any questions. If you do have any questions or would like to discuss your cybersecurity situation or your retirement plan or investments, feel free to give us a call. I do not see any questions at this time. Again, I want to thank everybody for attending tonight. Please call us if you did not get a link to the Cybersecurity Quick Reference Guide. And if you'd like to get a copy of that book while they last, let us know. Thanks so much and have a good evening.